Ah, there we go. Hey guys, Snowman here again. Today I'm going to be starting my video series on the role-playing system that I've come up with for tabletop gaming called Action Reaction Theater. Basically, it's a system very similar in design to White Wolf's D10 system, but uses six-sided dice or D6s, and character sheet also is very similar to the D10 sheets that a lot of people are used to, but obvious changes because this game system is designed for the GM or storyteller that prefers a custom game. They don't like to be tied down to a set storyline like the vampire or the werewolf or the mage storyline, where you can create a story like I have in the test run for the game series. I'm running my players through a think of it almost as a mix between Star Trek, Star Wars, and a little bit of the movie Firefly, all kind of thrown together. And the opening scene is they show up on what can only be described as the Tortuga of space stations, out in the middle of friggin' nowhere. This space station is kind of cobbled together from different alien races' technology, and pretty much built on and around this asteroid, in an asteroid belt around a small 3-planet solar system, and that an uninhabited system, hence the privacy. And this is a gray/black market type of place where the nefarious type space pirates, Han Solo type characters, for lack of a better term, show up. And getting back to the game system anyways, I'll get in more into the storyline later. Pretty much what you're going to have is, like I said, it's a D10 based system that uses six-sided dice, and I have decided to put in 4 playable race types. Humans, duh, self-explanatory. You're a human being, you don't have special powers, you can't shoot laser beams out of your eyes, you can't lift a car. Superhumans, think all your comic book characters and such. Aliens, which can pretty much be practically anything, but they cannot be immortal. That way it keeps combat possible. And then you have your supernatural creatures, your vampires, your werewolves, your fantasy also type characters, your elves, trolls, orcs, what have you. But anyways, each race type will have specific bonuses and drawbacks depending on which one you pick. And well, first off, let's get into the humans. Humans, you have a max attribute cap of 4 dots out of a total 6. The reason being, you're human. There's nothing special about you. You're part of the human race. You've been thrown into a situation where you have to use your wits and your ingenuity to survive and prosper. Straightforward, simple enough. The bonus to picking the human race over the superhuman, alien, or supernatural type races is you get 5 extra bonus points at creation. So, since all attributes and abilities are a cost of 1 for 1 only at creation, gives you a chance to spread out a little more points, make your human more of a jack of all trades, or just really buff up one specific stat, but at the same time you're not allowed to go over cap. So if you want to throw all your points into buffing all your strength to 4, yeah, you have 4 strength. You're massively strong for human, but you're not Superman. Whereas Superman would have a strength of 5 plus, let's say a human with 4 strength would have, I'd say probably professional bodybuilder or weightlifter type of strength, where you're massively strong, but you're not inhumanly strong. It's still covered by human capabilities. At the same time, too, what I've decided to do is I'm putting in a generic energy pool I know, I'm going to bounce all over the place, and eventually I'll make a tape that explains each section of the character sheet better so you guys know what I'm talking about. And I'll have a printed character sheet to show you guys what the bloody hell I'm talking about in the first place. So, but, alright, let's see. Getting back to character sheet. Come on, brain, function. I had someplace I was going. Humans. Okay, yeah, so humans, attribute cap of 4. But the 5 extra bonus points for a total of 15 at creation. Now, if you jump up to superhuman, superhuman and alien and fantasy races all have a max attribute cap of 5 because you're something other than a person. Now, whereas a Superman type character would kind of blurs the line between superhero and alien because he is from another planet, I would say GMs, storytellers, allow your player to list it as a superhuman if they were raised on Earth. If they have the Superman style storyline where they were raised as human, but then discovered their powers later on as they were growing up, superhuman, comic book character, go ahead. But if they are from said planet and came to Earth as a teenager or above and they were raised on another planet, then they have to list it as an alien. I know it's a semantics because they have the same cap, but it really matters to the backstory. About this game, one thing I want my players and my storytellers to know is this game is more about the role play and the storyline and the backstory of the characters than the combat and the rolling system, which I'm still kind of hammering the kinks out of in the first place. So this video series is going to be a work in progress. I'm currently only have run 1 episode with my players. They loved it, so we're going to continue with it. Also, this is a game system for GMs who like to create things on the fly. I mean, if you want to sit down and type out a really detailed, expansive storyline for however many episodes, go right ahead. I encourage that. My friend JR, he's that type of storyteller. He really gets into the detail and the nuts and bolts of a storyline and gets everything cast in stone. Or at least tries to, before the players go, ooh, new toy, hee hee hee, and run off in another direction and completely screw up his storyline. But anyways, can you tell I've had an energy drink. I'm a little hyper. So, anyways, let's have some more and make it even more interesting. Alright, back on track. As I make all sorts of noises into the microphone because I just clattered it with a can. If you've watched my videos up to this point, you know I don't exactly have a professional studio. Okay, where was I? Storyline, backstory. Yes, okay. I'm sorry, my internal processor is not as fast as my computer, so it takes me a while to remember where I was. Right. At least I thought I'd remembered where I was. Backstory, storyline. Okay. Action Reaction Theater, or ART, which is the name of the system that I'm working on creating, is literally for the storyteller that likes to create a custom game. I know I've probably already said this in this video, but I can't stress that enough. There is not a set backdrop storyline setting in place for this game. This is literally just a template, a character sheet, and a die system, a rolling system, and a character building system. Beyond that, it's pretty much whatever the storyteller wants to come up with. Now, I have put my foot down in the supernatural category as far as what types of characters are allowed in the game, simply to keep it fair. I mean, let's put it this way: you don't want to have a game full of let's go Norse god type characters like Thor. You don't want to have a game full of those and have that one stubborn player come in and play a human. Well, yeah, that's not going to work very well. That one human is either going to be a pincushion or squished, and his stat cap is pretty much going to keep him from getting anywhere in the storyline. On the flip side of that, I would ask that storytellers do not allow God or immortal God type characters in their game, for the simple fact they can't die, and they're tougher than all hell, which means more than likely if they're immortal they probably can't be injured either. So also supernatural creatures like spirits, wraiths, ghosts, shadow creatures, shadow people, they don't have a physical form, so there's no way to injure them, so combat becomes impossible. So if you have a player that wants to come in with something like that, unless the game is going to be entirely that type of creature where you're all either similar race types or and then you work out your own damage system, don't let them into a game full of humans. I mean, we're not playing Supernatural here where you have a human that can hurt a ghost with a piece of wrought iron. No. Anyways, I'm not trying to tell you how to create your game, but I'm trying to give a heads up that this is a wide open system. You can create anything from let's go with the Mummy, the Mummy series of movies where you're an explorer in the Egyptian desert trying to find treasure, or let's see, we can go Dungeons and Dragons types where everybody wants to play a fantasy race. I mean, my favorite has always been the Orc Barbarian, because damn it, he's dumb as a brick and can take down a brick wall by sneezing at it. It's all in what you want to play. High space, high technology, like the game system like the storyline that I'm running now. Which, like I said, I'll get more into the storyline on that later, where I'll introduce all the characters. The cool thing about modern technology is my friend Mike, who months ago moved all the way down to LA, has been able to stay in the gaming group via Skype, so he can actually point the laptop camera, webcam. I'll get my terms right eventually. He can actually roll the dice on camera and we can see what he got. So it's just the modern technology really is kind of fascinating to a low-tech guy like myself. But anyways, getting ahead of myself here, and the energy drink is really kicking in, and now my thoughts are scattered to the four winds. Long story short, supernatural characters getting back on track. Supernatural characters have a max attribute cap of 6 dots, which is the most allowed in this gaming system, for the simple fact that you are something out of myth, legend, religion, nightmare, what have you. You are something else. You still have a physical form, but you're that horrific. You're Frankenstein's monster to the werewolf to Dracula to your troll. Well, no, that would be more of a fantasy race, like a goblin, or hell, you could be a zombie. You're still supernatural. You're not supposed to live. You're undead, but you're not a vampire. You're something else. So, long story short, while you have the 6-dot attribute cap for being supernatural, the drawback to that is you only get 8 points of bonus points at creation. So we're not going to give you a 6-dot cap and then give you all the points to fill said 6 dots right off the bat, because that would just make a broken character that nobody could do anything against. So anyways, like I said, scatterbrained quick introduction to the action-reaction theater role-playing system, and in the next video, which I'll probably end up making today because I want to get all this energy out of my system before it wears off. Yeah, that should be about it. I keep grinning at the camera because, yeah, thoughts are going. So, yeah. Anyways, maybe I might want to let the energy wear off before I make the next video, and I'll talk to you later. Next video will be me introducing the characters in the test run with my friends JR, Ashley, and Mike. Alright, more to come, guys.